What's up, guys? Welcome to In the Galaxy podcast. It's Michael G. ILKISON with my boy.
Hello, Jaye Williams. Thanks for checking us out again, subscribing and listening on iTunes.
And
what's up, Michael? How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good, dude. I'm doing
Still
amazing.
Looking like Tum Tum over there with your orange shirt on.
Tum Tum, give me
life.
some.
I love it.
The Three Ninjas reference just made it into 2 of the 3 podcasts, so I'm happy that we could do a throwback like that.
That's
and
good.
not talk about Chuck Norris and sidekicks while we're on karate movies. Yeah.
Ooh.
But the reason that we're doing this is for the Bon Iver self-titled album that Jay had me listen to. I had, in the last one, I had Jay listen to Kendrick Lamar's album. So this time we're going to review Bon Iver's work.
Yeah. This is Bon Iver's second album, full-length album. It came out a couple of years ago, actually, 2011.
Mm-hmm.
He had an EP in between the 2 albums. I keep saying he. I apologize. Bon Iver's Justin Vernon is the name of the guy behind this project. He literally does it all. He plays the guitar, he sings, he composes the music, he produces the music, he plays multiple instruments on this. The reason I picked this album instead of his first record is because this one, there's a lot more to it. There's a lot more layers to it, and the first one was a little more kind of pulled back. It was almost all acoustic guitars, a few other instruments, but this one, as I'm sure, Michael, you will know from listening to it, there's a lot more than just a guitar and a drum. Pretty much. There's a lot of stuff going on in this record.
Oh, yeah.
Lots
I'm going to get to that.
So. Yeah. So let's see. People will know Justin Vernon, not only from this project, but he's also been a feature on Kanye West. He was on Dark and Twisted Fantasy. He was on the song Monster. And he also did the song oh crap, what is that song called?
I'm in
the
it.
Last song on the record. Well, no, I'm talking about on Dark and Twisted Fantasy.
Twisted Fantasy.
Yeah. Hang on one second.
He also got some. He also got some big rave reviews for, I think it was MTV Awards. When people were confused, they said Bonnie Bear, like Bonni, like Bonnie, and then a bear, and people were like, "Who is Bonnie Bear?" Because when I was in college, one of my friends told me, "Oh yeah, dude, this band is called Bon Iver," because they spell it BON space IVER, but like it's really French. So I'm an idiot, and I was saying it wrong for all these years. What's that?
It means good winter.
Ah, thank you, Master J. Williams. As you caress your philosopher beard.
Yeah, sorry.
No,
he also
awesome.
featured on. He was sampled on the song "Lost in the World" by Kanye West. It's actually he has a song on his Blood Bank EP called Woods. But anyways, that's beside the point. He was also on Yeezus. He was prominently featured on the song "Hold My Liquor," which he was credited for. He actually wasn't credited in "I'm in It," or he was credited, but I think it was like a loose credit, but he has a really big verse on that song. And I think he even did some stuff on the Watch the Throne record, but that's beside the point. The real point is Bonnie's self-titled album. So let's get into it. Pretty much on this record, the whole idea of it, the whole theme of it is a bigger, better version of Bon Iver from what they had heard on his first record, For Emma Forever Ago. As I said before, it almost had his first record. It had what I call the Coldplay effect, basically a band or an artist in this case that didn't have a ton of money to make a record, so it was pretty bare bones. Like I said, it was like a guitar, maybe some piano and drums. It had a very lo-fi recording. Well, he got some money and he got about 397 different instruments and artists to pretty much perform on this record. I am going to preface
397?
I was, just for the record, I was over exaggerating just a little bit. But
I appreciate that
But
close into the secret to our podcast viewers that you just did there.
yeah. So I'm going to preface this by saying I'm not even going to attempt to pretend like I know every single instrument that's being played on this record, because there are instruments that are playing in the foreground, there's instruments that are played in the background, there's like instruments that are played in the left side of your headphones and the right side of your headphones. They fade in, they fade out, they come in randomly. They don't repeat. It's just like there is a ton of shit going on here. But so they start off with the first track, Perth. And I love the song. I love it. I love the song. It comes in with this really kind of twangy, reverby, echoey guitar lead. And the whole song, the whole idea of the song is it builds one after another. And it basically and that's kind of a constant thing with Bon Iver, at least on this record, is they start out with one part, and each part they keep building on to the song. It starts out with the guitar, and then it comes in with this kind of a marching drum roll. It's just and then after that, it comes in with you've got the floor tom and the bass drum.
Yes.
And it just builds one and one after another and one after another. And he's got this smooth voice. And the best thing about Bon Iver, in my opinion, as amazing as the music is, as well as it's put together, as complex as it is, I can't understand a fucking word this guy says. I can't understand anything this dude says.
It's like
for me,
Mushmouth from Fat Albert. I super don't know what I'm saying, except it's like Justin Vernon.
Yeah, but for me,
something like that.
For me, 100%, it does. I don't even care, because he has such.
That is exactly from my review too. I don't care what he's saying. Go ahead.
He has such an acute ability to pick out the most smooth and creamy melodies that you will ever hear. I mean, you can put him. Why is this funny? Why are you laughing?
You just said creamy melodies. Remember when we went to see The Matrix Reloaded in high school, and there was this weird nerd in the theater.
This is a flashback.
Yeah, flashback. Exactly. So me and Jay went to this theater, and this guy, he's kind of like a video store bald guy with like a skullet, and he's got this beard. And there's this guy, and me and Jay and John, who popped in on the last one, a little turned up. We were all three together, and we're like, this guy's like, "What movie are you seeing?" And we're like, "Matrix Reloaded." He goes, "Oh, wait till you see the train scene. Oh, you're gonna cream."
I do remember that now.
Yes, you should. It's just like you're gonna cream.
I do remember that.
And we just lost it. But yes, Justin Vernon's voice, very creamy voice, in just the right spots, as you were saying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how he does it. Like, I will listen to this stuff over, and I've listened to this record maybe 1,000,000 times.
Are you exaggerating again?
I'm exaggerating. The melodies are incredible. I don't know how he does it. They're just really, really good. They're infectious. I just love his voice. I love the melodies. And so to continue with the first song, which I'm still on the first song, the song is building and building and building. His voice is going, and the song keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then the best part of the song, the second half of the song, doesn't even have vocals in it. The best part of this whole band doesn't even have vocals in it, because all instruments are going together at once. And then you have what's added onto it is this double bass part at the end, where it's just like, and it's just like rolling, and they're hitting snares on accents, and it's like one and they're just hitting all these fucking notes, and it's so good. It's just so good. The song sounds like this epic fucking battle scene song, and I love it. I love that track. It's amazing. So through kind of going through the rest of the song, one thing that I do notice, there's really big songs on this record, and then there's kind of some in-between songs too. And I feel like each song in between the big songs, they kind of build up to the next one. So you got this song Minnesota, which the beat from this song kind of picks up where Perth leaves off, and it's a little bit more down tempo from Perth. The song Holocene, which is my favorite song on this record, he won best record for this song, a Grammy for this song.
Okay.
It gave him a lot of notoriety. This song, at its very heart, is probably one of the most perfect songs I've ever heard in my entire life, in my opinion, of course. It has a kind of a verse and chorus thing, which most of these songs don't have. It's very beautiful. Again, it's another song that kind of starts in with this guitar part. It's this guitar loop, and his voice comes in, and then it adds a shaker, kind of gets a shaker going. And then in the shaker in the next 4 beats, he comes in with the kick drum, and it's just like alternating, and then they just keep adding more and more instruments. Towers is a great song. Calgary is a great song. I mean, I could talk about every one of these songs, but they're kind of all the same in the sense that they're just layers and layers upon music. But another song that I really, really like on this record is called Death Rest. It's the last song on the record. It's a synth song. It's a synth kind of keyboard song where it's just a really good ballad. One thing that's interesting about this song is he actually uses auto-tune in it, which I think is interesting. You've got this guy who has a perfect voice, this perfect musician who you're like, why the hell would he ever need to use auto-tune? Well, he uses it as a texture element. You know, it's something that adds to all this stuff. And yeah, I love Beth Rest. I love that song. I listen to this record at least once a week. I don't go.
No way.
I listen to this album once a week. I have it on vinyl. I just love it that much. I just really, really, really like this record. And my final grade on it is I'm going to give it an A-, which is crazy because I know I've talked about how awesome it is, and I gave Kendrick Lamar an A. But I feel like I can listen to this whole record from start to finish multiple times as I do. But I do feel like there's like really big, good songs, but then there's some kind of in-between songs which are good. It's just like they seem like they're kind of just slotted in there. But yeah, that's what I thought about it. I don't mean to rush through it. And before you get to your review, you're gonna like my review. You're gonna like it. Good. I have to say, if there's anybody that will listen to this and want to go check out Bon Iver, if there's anybody that listened to our last one and listened to this record and maybe really enjoyed this record, I encourage you to go back and listen to his first record. And there's a ton of other stuff out there besides his other 2 records. There's bonus songs that he's done. There's an EP that he's done. There's like remixes and stuff and unreleased tracks. But one thing, Bon Iver as a project is on hiatus right now. There will not, as of right now, there will not be another Bon Iver record. So you can hear Justin Vernon. You can hear Justin Vernon on Kanye songs. He has 2 other bands right now that he's in. He has one called the Starting Matches, I think that's what they're called. They're kind of like a Black Keys type of rock band. And then he has another band called Volcano Choir, which a lot of people joke around and say Volcano Choir is pretty much the 3rd Bon Iver record. So if you want to go check them out, check out
what was that band
Starting
again?
Matches. They're called Volcano Choir. I'm sure we'll review them at some point because it's a really good record. It's a little bit different. It's almost more of a full band type of thing. There's a straight up drummer. There's a guitar player. There's a bass player. But this record, it has everything on it in terms of, instruments. I mean, there's a lot of lead saxes in it. There's some trombones and some trumpets.
Oh, wow. Nice.
I don't know about trumpet. No, I'm talking about Bon Iver. I'm not talking about Volcano Choir.
Okay.
But there's all kinds of stuff in this record. But I want to know what you have to think about it because you've never listened to this record before.
I've been chomping at the bit to start talking about this album, actually. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No.
I could see it on your face.
So
you were waiting for me to stop blabbing my fat mouth.
So my first experience with Bon Iver was when I still thought they were Bon Iver, and I had never listened to them ever, except one guy said to me, he said, "Oh, dude, it's honestly the type of band that you listen to before you go to sleep or while you're sleeping."
Yes.
And that's the first thing the guy said to me. Now I haven't listened to Bon Iver much. I had no kind of grasp of it at all. But I'm gonna dive straight into it with my review. Now, Jay, it's very interesting. You started off, and me and you both do it. We analyze the songs. We talk about the songs that stick out, the songs that don't stick out.
Right.
Here's my claim. Somebody else might have arrived at this already, but my claim with this album is that there are no songs on this, or that the songs are fluid. Now, what I mean by that is I'm
It
getting
never
really
stops.
it's you don't know when one song ends and another one begins.
Yes.
It's
that's
almost like you don't know. Like, obviously, if you have a track list, you can tell where the song begins and ends. But if you're just listening to it, there's melodies. Justin Vernon here, or the other guys in the band, they're composers. They are composers. They're movements. This brought me back to my days of playing in symphonic bands. There are movements. There are like themes. There's stories. There's so many phrases. It's very rich. But you don't know when one song begins and another one ends. I mean, I was firmly argue that. Much like you were saying with Kendrick Lamar's album, and it's interesting that we picked these albums to review together. You said there's a narrative there. There's a narrative lyrically. Well, here in this album, there's a narrative musically, instrumentally. There's a narrative, and I mean the thing about it with there not being any words is that each time you listen to it, it strikes you in a different way, but it just evokes so many different emotions. And to touch on his lyrics, you said, "Oh, I can't understand what the hell he's saying." I can't either. And it doesn't matter because just
I think
his
it almost
voice,
helps, to be honest with you.
What it does is it's just so textured musically. Like, for example, you said, I don't know what all the instruments are. I'm not going to pretend to. One instrument that I picked out is it does have a shaker.
Oh, yeah.
There. But what is so cool is it's got a triangle in there. Now, if you know anything about symphonic band or that type of stuff, it's very hard to add in a good triangle part. But what he does is
is that true?
It is, because it's just like, well, if you're playing sixth grade band music, it's like ching 2 3 4 ching 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 ching.
Right.
Ching. It's like very much
like an accent, yeah.
Yeah, but like what Vernon does here is he just hits the triangle once and then he never touches it again. Like one time. And I remember I was listening to one part of the album and the genres changed. I want to say 8 times in 5 seconds. So it changed genres 5 times in 8 seconds. That was just so mind-blowing. It's just so mind-blowing that he could change genres so fast of music. It was like hip-hop beat in one moment in like a half a second, and then a country music beat in another second. He had one of those country music Twain keyboard things.
Oh, yeah.
A slider,
guitar,
yeah. So it's like it's just compressed so much into just rap, hip-hop, rock, and he's just, and then like symphonic band, and it's just the way that he layered those sounds is just amazing. I just really, really loved that. And to get now to lyrics, I'm gonna move to his lyrics.
Did you look up his lyrics?
I actually didn't look up his lyrics. The only thing that I understood, and this is kind of the thing about lyrics, or it's kind of the thing about cussing. If somebody drops the F-bomb all the time, it's just like it doesn't have any power to it.
I know where you're going with this.
The F-bomb has no power to it. But like, let's say I try not to say it that much, but when I do say it and drop it, I'm serious. You know that I'm pissed. Like, oh, Michael just said the F word and he never says that. Well, I think it's the same way lyrically with this guy, because it's a long break where there's no lyrics at all, and it's just there's nothing. It's just beautiful music, and you can just lay out in the sun to it. It just makes you feel like you're in paradise almost.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, he comes in, and I don't know the exact lyric, but he goes, how can I separate the fragrance from the raindrops? Or your fragrance from the raindrops. Something like that. Something crazy. And it's just after just being messed with so long with your head, and it's just like, I can't separate the smell of you from the raindrops. I'm just like, what? Like, how smooth is that? How smooth is that, Justin Vernon? That's like some Drake smooth stuff. Baby, you my everything. I mean, like, man, it just brings so much to the table about what he said there. So that's really my biggest thing is lyrically, I would have to look up what he's doing or what he's saying, I should say. But I mean, my goodness, it's just amazing what he's doing. Just with getting me to think about questioning music itself and songs. It's just like, man, this is not a song. This is a movement, or
it's
this is
next level shit.
This is a bridge. It's redefining our reality as a generation. It's just it's like, oh, well, a song is supposed to be 3 minutes. It's like, no, it's like it's telling a story.
No, it's not that. It actually can be however long you want it to be.
Exactly, right? Society's not going to tell me what a song is. So that's my argument, is that there aren't songs on this album. It's all one piece. I'll say that. Because, like, for example, Gustav Holst wrote The Planets, and they're all different movements. You've got Mars, which is the popular one. They play it at like UK football games and sporting events. And you got that, and then you've got like Neptune, which is just like, and it's got a harp part. And I think it's got a harp part in it. I'd have to research it more, but then you've got Uranus. I had to throw that in there. Uranus.
I also like Sex and Chocolate. Just for the record.
That's from our 1975, where I was like telling the songs I like, and the names were Chocolate and Sex. Yeah, so that's what we're alluding to. But yeah, that's just like Gustav Holst has this entire piece with different movements. And with that said, somebody would say, oh, they're different songs. But it's like, no, there's a movement. It's like, and if you analyze the word movement, it's just like, wait a minute. We're not necessarily abandoning this past experience. We're just moving. It could be moving towards something similar or moving towards something different. But I just challenge people to, like, when you listen to this piece, this piece of work, it just, man, it's just very, and it's one of those, like Jaye said to me, he's like, dude, don't listen. We listen to music at work, podcasts while we're getting stuff done. We're still being productive if our bosses are watching, but like, listen to it at work. You listen to it at work, you get stuff done. But Jaye was like, nah, dude, you cannot do anything while you listen to this. You just have to chill out and listen to this. And that's what I would recommend for people. Do whatever it is you do to relax and just listen to this. And I'm just telling you, it will replenish your soul if you believe in the soul, or even if you don't, it replenishes you. And with that said, and I talk about the power of lyrics and never cussing, but final grade with this is 3 parts. A fucking plus.
Ah, dude, wow, that's awesome. I like that. I'm proud. Of you, Michael.
I've redefined. I mean, I would encourage people to listen to it. It's it's dynamic.
This is I'm taken aback for the sole fact that I'm now disappointed with myself for not. I think it's funny because on the last 2 records that we've done, you have just kicked my ass in the record that I chose for you. And you said that I kicked your ass in the record that you chose for me.
Yeah, you kicked my ass for Kendrick Lamar.
That's fine. I think there's something to say for that. I think sometimes we take music for granted. The music that we
Yes.
enjoy, I think we take it for granted because I love that record. I mean, it's sitting on my shelf. It was one of the very first vinyl records that I ever bought.
Yeah.
And man, dude, I love it to death. And everything that you said just reminded me, I agreed with everything that you said. And it just reminded me of how right you are that it's a composed piece of music. It's just an incredible record. People, you got to go out there and check it out. And for three quick anecdotes that I need to add on.
1, 2, 3, 4. Get your woman on the floor. Sorry, had to break that down.
Get your Bonnie Bear on the floor. So I got this record when it first came out. I was a huge Bon Iver fan on his first record. And when this one came out, I was excited. And I acquired it through unwell means. I legally downloaded it.
I like how you said I acquired it. Well, yeah, I just listened to the album on YouTube. I don't know if I should say that, but it's on YouTube.
That's okay. It doesn't matter. Yeah. So I got this album. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't want to forget it. Silence. All right, so the thing what I talked about with the song beginning and ending, it's like silence. Like no one ever thinks about silence in music. Like if you listen to the radio, something just starts happening and immediately sounds start happening. But with this, you have you have like a 10-second period of silence before anything ever happens. And I think the silence is not just more important, it's equally as important as the chimes or the guitars or any of the other instruments. So I really appreciate how he composes silence into this album too. Sorry, I forgot about that.
You're fine. You're fine. I just wanted to say
the three things, yeah.
Yeah. So when I got this record illegally and when I downloaded it, I enjoyed it. I liked it. I listened to it a lot. I probably had it for a whole year, and I watched them perform on Saturday Night Live. Bon Iver. I watched them perform at Saturday Night Live, which I highly recommend people going back and watching those performances. They performed Holocene and Towers.
Do you remember who hosted? Do you remember who hosted SNL?
Remember, actually. Yeah, it was what's his name? The Magic Mike. What's his name?
Oh, Channing Tatum. Don't ask me how I rattled it off so fast.
Okay.
It's not my secret desire to be a male dancer after watching Magic Mike.
Also, for the record, Justin Timberlake did a bit on not on that SNL, but on another SNL where he actually was Justin Vernon from Bon Iver.
No way.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. So go watch that. Anyways, so I had this record for a year, and they come on, they play their first song, and it's Holocene, which I said is my favorite track on the whole record. So they play it, and I'm like, I've never heard this song before. And I'm like, what is this? I listened to it like four or five times on my DVR and was looking for it. Like, I was like, what song is this? Well, come to find out, when I downloaded the record, I didn't get that song with it. So I went an entire year without being able to hear one of the songs on the record.
Oh, wow.
The lead single on the record, I didn't even know it even existed.
Oh,
and
wow.
People were talking about it, and he was nominated for a Grammy for it. And I had no idea. So that's my favorite track on this record. That's anecdote one. Anecdote two, it was funny. Michael was telling me that it was a really nice day when he listened to this record and he got to sit outside and listen to it, which I thought was really cool because Bon Iver's first record, For Emma Forever Ago, he said that was a record for winter time. He actually wrote it when he was kind of locked away in a cabin and this and that. But this record, he said it was a springtime record. So I think he said it was a spring record, which it's spring now pretty much. So I think that's pretty cool. You got to listen to it in that context.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, I think that is a testament for Justin Vernon, just at how, like, composers back in the day, they absolutely will have themes of the seasons. I mean, there's the
Mhm.
seasons. Vivaldi has the seasons, and it's just like amazing to me if you think about it how music you like take it in auditorily. It's probably not a word. You take it in through your auditory senses, and it
Yeah.
creates visual images. It creates smells, olfactory images. It creates touch, and it's just like how amazing is it that music can make you feel something or just a
Oh yeah.
concept. And it's just I don't know. I think you're right. I think we do take music for granted, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to do this podcast with you is because I realized how awesome music is. And it's just like, damn, music is really, really awesome. It's worth talking about. Even like politically, we've just
Yeah.
got all these conflicts going on and world hunger. But like somebody could just pick up like a guitar. Like the first guitar that was invented, somebody just picked up a string and like tied it to a stick, and I could just, making music and like hitting drums. I mean, it's just amazing. Like music can
Yeah.
just, I think music can move mountains.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm getting on a kick now. I'm getting way too turned up about Bon Iver
That's
and
okay.
music.
My last part, really, um, just I recommend you guys go on YouTube if you like this record and search for it on YouTube because there's some really cool live performances of him doing some of these songs. And one thing that is really neat about him, and this just speaks for how incredible of a musician he is, literally almost every single time he performs it in a different manner. And I don't mean in a way where it's like not the song that you like. It's just almost a different approach to sing the song. It's painting the picture with a different set of brushes, but getting the
Oh
end
wow.
result. So
That is
there's
such a beautiful image that you painted there. Painting the same image with a different brush. Man.
yeah. So, but like some of the songs on there, he'll do a piano version of it, or he'll do it. That's one thing neither one of us talked about. He primarily sings in a falsetto voice, which
Yeah.
which is a bit of an acquired taste, I think, but it's beautiful nonetheless. If you can get by that, you can listen to the rest of the record. But sometimes on these YouTube videos, he'll sing the song in his natural, more deeper register instead of a falsetto, and it just gives it a completely different kind of view. I've also seen him do songs a cappella, which is
Oh wow.
incredible. I mean, he's just so talented. So definitely keep your eye on this guy. And I promise you, Michael, I'm making you this promise right now that we will listen to his new project, Volcano Choir, in the coming future, which, like I said, again, they consider it the follow-up to this record, kind of. So,
Oh wow.
all
Yeah.
right.
Um yeah. I'm kind of in a rambling mood now. It's all
Do you,
did you ever watch live performances, like buy those DVDs of just artists performing in concert and just put it on the TV and just hang out with people and talk? Did you ever do that with
um, w- did I ever put on the concert DVDs and talk with people while it was going on? Is
Yeah,
that what
because
you're
I mean,
asking?
I think it would be cool if you had like a party
Yeah,
and you just put on like a DVD of a concert and it's just,
I've done stuff like that before. Yeah.
yeah, I think that's really cool. Maybe not for some people, but
No,
I,
it's. I mean, if you're into music, it sparks a lot of interesting conversations. I think it seems like a prime thing for a bunch of hipsters to do, though. I'm not going to lie to you.
yeah, and looking like I don't know. I don't think I could pass as a hipster looking like Tum Tum from
Coming
freaking.
off as a pretentious asshole. Hey, do you want to come to my music watching party? Saying,
Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm
don't
such
forget your
a.
beret.
People are just like, man, I thought he was a nice guy, but Michael Gilkison's really an asshole. He's like, he's so pretentious. He's just this quiet guy that just smiles, but he's an asshole.
It's
We
something.
all are.
Yeah, no, whatever. Well, Michael, I'm glad you like this record. Do you think you'll listen to it again?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm excited to look at the live performances. We need to talk about it in our um, maybe a music/technology in the galaxy, but I'll get to where like I don't watch TV anymore. I'll just go home on YouTube and I'll watch live performances.
Oh yeah,
Like,
the only time I watch TV is when I'm watching soccer stuff now. I rarely watch TV unless I hear that there's a good TV show going on. I'll watch it or something like that. But yeah, right now I just listen. I watch live music or I
mhm.
watch YouTube channels on stuff. So
Yeah, and I need to get more into YouTube channels. But I mean, like if I watch about 6 videos that I really like, I'll just keep going with them. I'll
yeah,
just be like, oh man, like BBC Live Lounge. I love that. Ellie Goulding does a cover of Justin Timberlake Mirrors, and Justin Timberlake covers Michael Jackson, and Arctic Monkeys cover Drake, and it's just,
well,
I think
just
it's,
my recommendation for you, just to tie it back into Bonnie Bear. I know I
yeah.
picked out some live performances of just him, but and I think it's fitting. I think it's fitting that we can spend a good amount of time talking about him. I mean, you gave him an A+ for God's sakes, and I gave him
No,
a
an
really
A
high grade.
fucking
So
plus.
yeah, so um, there are some individual performances on there which are very good, but I
Hmm.
highly recommend Googling. You know, if there's any music lovers like us out there,
Hmm.
and if you don't know this, you can go on YouTube right now and search for whatever band, Kendrick Lamar full set or Bon Iver full set, and you'll get an entire concert from him. And you can go out there right now and listen to Bon Iver's like a full Bonnaroo set right now,
Oh
and
wow.
it's amazing to watch. Also, I probably won't ever pick it, but I definitely recommend to you and other people out there to go back and listen to his first record,
Yeah.
For Emma, forever ago. It's different. It's different than this one, but still very good. It's still Bonnie
Yeah.
Bear. And then he had an EP called Blood Bank, which I recommend too. So
I actually did see him do. Fixing my headphones. I did see him
there.
do a live performance with Kanye West.
Oh
Um,
yeah, of the monster thing.
I think it was. I think it was like a transition piece. They were both wearing white, like
Mhm.
white pants and white shirt, and Kanye was down, and there were dancers surrounding Kanye, um, like theater performance dancers, and like Justin Vernon's just up on this tower by himself, just singing things, and nobody knows what it is. But I mean, it was so good,
You know
like
what's funny is you know what, fuck Kanye and Jay-Z collaboration. I want a Kanye
yeah,
and Justin Vernon co-
exactly.
collaboration album.
They
Here's a
kill
funny
it together. They kill it.
dude. Every song that they're featured on, I'm obsessed with. Like, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a Bonnie Bear fan, but his voice is so good. It fits so well. When he gets in that lower register, I mean, his falsetto is beautiful, but when he gets in that lower register and he's just start kind of belting out like, "I can hold my liquor.
Yeah.
These bitches can't handle me." It's just like, oh shit. But
Bitch,
on
I'm about coma.
on those old Kanye records, when he would sample like old old, I don't know,
I ain't saying she's a gold digger.
well, no, older songs than that,
Oh
just
yeah,
he would
can't
sample
think of
like
any.
old soul songs and stuff. um
I got a woman way over time. Is she
yeah,
able to dugga 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 dugga?
you're still on Gold Digger.
I
He's
know,
still
dang,
Gold
but
Digger.
that's Ray Charles. He's sampling Ray Charles, which is what you're talking
Well,
about.
yeah. So he used to sample soul music. Well, now with Justin Vernon, he doesn't have to do that. It's like he found that voice. He found the modern voice that he doesn't even have to sample. He's just like,
Ah,
"Hey, Justin, here's this part. Can you sing this part for me?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, Kanye, I'll do that." And then he goes over and
ebony and ivory. That's kind of what I think about them together.
yeah.
But I mean, I think they have more similarities.
Sorry.
Something else with Justin Vernon's voice that I thought was interesting was when he sings. All right, so typically when you hear somebody sing, you've got the instruments and they're below the voice. They're like supporting the voice. But with Vernon when he sings, you've got that support underneath, but you've also got instruments that wrap up around his sound of his voice. Then you've got another instrument that like wraps around the sound of his voice. And you've
Yeah.
got another layer of an accent that ties into that. So I mean, what I'm saying is why it's so peaceful and why you can listen to it, and I think it's so soothing, is because nothing comes out of the warp and the weft as a texture. It's all complementing one another. Everything's working together, and with his voice, it's like, yeah, I can only hit the triangle one time because that's all it needs to support the sound of his voice. I mean, that just reminded me of that. But man, I think that's one of the aspects that makes him so moving. And I thought about this too when I was listening to the album. I'm just like, man, I wonder if Kanye listened to this album, and I wonder like how they work as a collaboration team.
Oh yeah, I would love to sit in that room. I would love it.
Because right now I think that like Kanye is calling the shots a little bit. Because like, well, it's mostly for Kanye's album, but I mean like, I just wonder what it would be like if Justin Vernon just had complete creative control and he's like, all right, I want to pepper Kanye in this part of my song, instead of Kanye being like, I want to put Justin Vernon in right here for this song.
Yeah.
Because there's kind of a disjunction when you have that peaceful music and then that hip hop beat.
Well, I don't know. It's cool though, because every album or every song that he's on with Kanye,
Yeah,
when that part comes in, man, like, and I hear it, it makes me want more. It always makes me want more, dude. I will listen to those songs over and over and over again just because they're so good.
yeah.
And just for the record, because we've been talking about them again, just to remind people: Blood on the Leaves, Hold My Liquor, Lost in the Woods, or Lost in the World, and Monster. And he's on some other ones too. Just fucking Google it or YouTube it. Yeah.
No, I agree with it, because the thing about I'm in it off the Yeezus album. I love that.
It's like,
I love that song because it's like just got this slow beat and it's just like boom, 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 and then Kanye comes in and it's just like speeds up a little bit, and it speeds up a little bit, and then it like hits faster, and then all of a sudden it slows down again, and Justin Vernon just comes in like James Brown or some shit. Except if you're watching the video part, I did more like a Beyonce type move with my finger, like "No, you didn't" type of thing. But it's a soulful voice. Vernon's kind of like, I don't know. Would you say is a James Brown? He comes in with like a James Brown type feel, or
I don't know. I mean,
it's hard to say.
On what register. I mean, there's times when his high register is more along the lines of R&B, kind of more akin to like a Maxwell or almost D'Angelo sometimes, or sometimes even R. Kelly, man. Sometimes the way his delivery is, he's very rhythmic with his – he kind of has a flow. He's very rhythmic, very syncopated. But his low register, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, you told me he sounded like – but I remember this popped to me. Before you told me to listen to this, you were like, "Oh, dude, sometimes he sounds like Phil Collins." And when I listened to it, I listened to this album like 6 times straight through. When I was listening, I was like, "Damn, he does sound like Phil Collins." And another crazy thing that I saw, I know I'm going down a side street here really quick, but it's just Robert Downey Jr. Okay, if you haven't seen this on YouTube,
wow, this is coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, I know. No, it's sort of like. It's tied in with how Justin Vernon sounds like Phil Collins in one song. But one thing I didn't know is Robert Downey Jr. sounds exactly like Sting. He can sing exactly like Sting. They do a performance together.
I remember. Sorry, that's Phil Collins.
That was Earth, Wind, and Fire.
What I just did?
Do you remember the 21st night of September?
No, I did.
No, 24.
Sorry. We should do a Phil Collins review.
Man, what I love about this podcast, the Bon Iver one, it's kind of how it talks about, redefining what is a song. We've kind of redefined what our podcast is. We're just like, Oh, let's talk about whatever we want.
Yeah, this one is about like the Bon Iver album. It's just like we're just gonna talk about Robert Downey Jr. once and then never come back to it.
That is so true. Oh my god.
Robert Downey Jr. is the triangle.
But you've mentioned him 3 times now, so he's more like the shaker.
The triangle has 3 sides.
People are gonna watch this podcast like a century from now, and they're gonna be like, "Robert Downey Jr. is the Illuminati, man."
Yeah.
Or like, who
The
knows?
pyramids represent Robert Downey Jr.
They're like,
yeah, we've gone off the chain with this one.
We're like way off the chain with this. We're like we're not even in Compton anymore. We're in like Beaverton, Oregon. I mean, we're just way out of line here. I mean,
yeah.
But I don't know.
Probably wrap it up.
Wrap it up like a mummy or a condom.
Yeah, 'cause I have to go to work tomorrow. It's 12 o'clock my time.
Oh man, yeah, it is.
It's 9 o'clock your time.
That's right, coast to coast. The hosts with the most. Gonna be tired like a ghost. I hate to boast, but Jay, thank you for picking out Bon Iver for me to listen to. Golly,
no problem, my friend.
It's an experience. I'll say it like this. Like when I like hip hop music because of the confidence and the hits and how, it's just like, yeah, you're flexing, you're flexing for people.
I'm just flexing.
But this, when you're going in with your expectations with this, it's an experience. Just realize that.
Yeah. You want me to pick next week's for you?
Yes.
Okay. It is maybe the complete opposite end of the spectrum. I told myself I wasn't going to do this, but I think I will maybe just once. I'm going to pick my first heavy music album.
Oh.
Okay.
All right.
It's I could get some shit for this, but I don't really care.
The metalheads listening.
Yeah, but they would maybe even hate the fact that I'm picking this. It's a band called Issues. The album is self-titled, I think. It just came out like maybe a few weeks ago, but there's a lot of buzz behind this band. They're on an independent record label called Rise Records. Their album debuted at number 9 on the Billboard charts. For a metal band, that's pretty big.
Wow, yeah.
I think you'll enjoy it. They've got a DJ, so it's got some scratching going on. They have some hip hop elements in there. Their screamer kind of does some rapping every now and then, kind of brings a little. And they have this singer who has a really kind of soulful voice. Yeah, we'll see what you think about it.
So we've got, just for the record, we've got Pharrell's new album paired with Issues new album. And then this time we had like Kendrick Lamar paired with freaking Bon Iver. And there's so many similarities.
Oh, this is completely, at least for my picks, you have one of the most complex records we could ever review with one of the most not bare bone record, but one of the most.
Which one are you talking about?
Issues.
Bare bone.
Issues. What's the best way to describe this? It's you're not gonna have to think about this record. You're just gonna have to think about if you like it or not. Okay.
Okay.
And for anybody listening who's not into metal or heavy music or screaming and all that stuff, just give this one a chance. I promise it's got some pop appeal to it. I promise you. Just check it out. Okay. There's a reason I picked it. I have it in my collection for a reason, good or bad. So just give it a shot. Give it a fair shot.
Hey, I'll do that. I'm looking forward to it.
Cool.
Well, thank you again, Jay. And anything else to add?
Sorry we went so long, but at least you got a lot of content to listen to.
Yeah. So if you liked the other ones, then you're gonna enjoy our ramblings.
All right, man. Well, it's been fun.
All right.
See you later.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll catch you later in the galaxy.
Bye.
See you.